Welcome to another What Is It Wednesday video. A recent exploration triggered me to do this video because it brought back a memory of something I did here as a teenager. To find out what that was and to see what we're checking out, all you need to do is come along with me for my latest What Is It Wednesday video. So today I'm coming to you from McDade Park here in Scranton, Pennsylvania, a place that may sound and look familiar because I was here just a short while ago with my friend Matt PG. We did the underground mine tour. But today we're staying above ground and focusing on this section of water, because this section of water leads to something that I explored as a teenager with a group of friends, and I completely forgot all about it until recently. So let's start going up the trail, get closer to our destination, and I'll tell you more about what I did here so many years ago. So we're going to take this trail, which is going to lead upwards towards a busy road. We're going to start to hear pretty soon, and that road is kind of our destination and the same road that we featured in that recent exploration. Now, out of all the videos I made here at McDade Park, this is one I never made, namely because I forgot about it. So back when I was in high school, as a teenager, one of my friends had a birthday party here at McDade Park. They rented out one of the pavilions and we did a number of things, one of which was go up here, which I don't know if the trail was here then or not, but we found our way up here, found the water, followed the water, and it led us to a passageway. That passageway goes under a road. It's going to be very familiar to what we did on a recent exploration, just in a different location. Now the trail does continue up that direction. We're going to divert off trail, which is going to bring us down to the water source again. Following that should take us right to our location. It's also extremely beautiful down here too. Relaxing sounds of the water, some big stones, some nature's carpet, plenty of shade, and well, like I said, if we follow the water, it should take us directly to it. Before we continue though, let me just give you a few shots of this water because it's pretty gorgeous. See, what'd I tell you? Absolutely gorgeous. And in case you're wondering, the water is frigid. Even though we are having high temps in the 80s and it's rather humid out, it's still cooling off quite a bit at night, down into like the 50s. So the water has not really warmed up yet, but it's tolerable. I'm not gonna be swimming in it, but toes are definitely getting cold. So, like I mentioned, following the water is going to take us right to our target. And I think I see it up ahead. Do you? Just around that bend, we should be there. Yep, I see it. And it's actually bigger than I remember. And I'm pretty certain it's going to require a flashlight, so I'm glad I brought one. Are you ready for the unveiling? Here's your first look at it. Yep, if you guessed it, it's a culvert. And it goes under the Pennsylvania Turnpike. So, again, that may sound familiar because I did a recent exploration where I rode my Blue Lightning to a former Google Maps location because viewers told me there was a passageway or a culvert going under the turnpike. We found that one and explored it. This one also goes under the turnpike, just a different section of it. But the main difference between both of them is this one I can stand directly up in. I won't be hunched over. Huh, I've seen some fish down here. About 4, 5, 6, maybe even more. And I think I spooked them. They're all kind of scurrying about. Interestingly enough, I have you guys attached to my wireless microphone. So I can actually get you guys underwater and it won't block up the mics. That's often an issue I have when I get you guys underwater and bring it back out. The microphones get filled with water and it sounds like I'm talking through a pillow. So just so you get the sounds underwater, I'm gonna disconnect my mic, put you under there, maybe you'll see some fish, and then I'll bring it back out and we will continue through that dark passageway. Did you see all the fish? There's actually way more down there than I realized. I watched the footage back. It's probably a couple dozen down there. Surprisingly though, the water's a bit murky and cloudy, which I'm not sure why because we haven't had rain. Well, I shouldn't say that. We had actually a quick thunderstorm yesterday. Maybe it's from that. Maybe there's something causing a disturbance further upstream. But I was expecting the water to be clearer, but we at least were able to see them. What I'm standing on here though is a concrete, I guess you could say lip or ledge or platform. It comes directly out of there. So this is poured concrete, basically the same as what we see here. This is just a diversion wall and to prevent erosion. So it keeps the water going instead of eating away at the embankment there. You guys are also sitting on another piece of concrete that was over there. And it looks like it did get kind of loosened and toppled into the stream bed. Like I said, good news though is we could actually walk directly straight up and down, standing up, no hunching over inside this culvert, which is good news to me because those types aren't enjoyable for me. So here you can see scale size with me, 5'11". This is probably about close to 7 feet tall, I'd say. Across maybe 7, like roughly 7 by 7. Give or take a foot or two. It's all solid concrete. I'm not sure if it was precast and brought here or if it was casted on site, but it's not a box culvert, it is a full arch. But let's get inside, walk to the other end, and see where it brings us to. I'm gonna head in just a little ways first just to kind of check it out. But last time I was through here, let's see, almost 30 years ago. I was probably around 15 years old. It was before I was driving, but I knew I was just entering junior high. So 30 years since I walked through this, or even seen it again, for that matter. It's a nice breeze coming through, and I do see a bit of a waterfall at the other side, so should be a little bit rewarding as we get out to the other end. Now here's how it looks with no light, and the sun actually just went in. It darkened it up a little bit. It's coming back out slowly. Like the other culvert, as we know, it's concrete floor, and it's like a rough concrete. It's so nice to be able to walk through and not be hunched over. And we're approaching halfway. And there is a decent echo in here. And if you guys remember from my last video, I made 2 movie references, which I'm probably going to recreate since we're in here again. Hello? Winston. you catch the number on that locomotive?
Sorry, I missed it.
And do we see any red balloons? Because they all float down here, Georgie. They all float down here. This doesn't seem like it's a spider den like the other one. It's like a couple of mosquitoes. Oh, there's an erosion area here. So the water ate away at the concrete, formed a little sinkhole here, a little pocket. Where's that water going? Looks like the water's going under and out beneath the concrete. Eventually it's going to require some attention because otherwise the water continually going underneath it, it's going to compromise some of the structural integrity. So although I do remember this culvert and do remember roughly what it looked like, not seen it in 30 years though, I forgot what was on the other side. And back here, it's a little bit fascinating because it looks like the convergence of two sources of water. So we made it clear through to the other side, walked completely beneath the turnpike, which is just above us up there. And back here, it's a bit interesting, at least as to the water sources, because it's not just one, it's two. So there's a fork and a convergence point here where both tributaries or streams are forming right here, sending it through the culvert. So if I was to follow the stream, which one would I follow? I mean, there's that one there, this one here. And the interesting point as well is that both of them have concrete up here. Those are concrete lips, that's not stone. I may try to venture up there a little bit just to see what it looks like around the bend. That one over here I could see for probably 30 yards and then it bends to the left. So I'm gonna take a quick walk up there. In the meantime, hang out here, enjoy the sights and sounds. See another area where the concrete has fractured and broke apart and the water is just going right beneath it, even though it's supposed to flow on top of it. Up here though, it's a mess. There's some jams up here. Concrete's all pushed in different places than it's supposed to be. There's trash, things that wash down. There's even a tire and rim right there. But as I've seen, I'm going to show you in just a moment, the concrete actually goes further than I thought it would. They made this concrete trough for a good distance here. Keeps going right up there, and I think it ends or begins right there. Now the one thing I'm wondering is maybe if this is like a island here, so to speak, where the water is one source up there and splits and comes around and reconverges down bottom. Maybe, maybe not. It might be two totally separate sources of water. But if I was to date this though, I learned the turnpike was put in the late 50s. This is probably around that time. This water was flowing here before the turnpike was put in place. They need to channel it safely, not to affect the turnpike freeway, which is up higher now, probably at least 50 feet above the culvert. So they put in concrete bottom, concrete sides, and created like a flume or channel or even like a canal so that the water doesn't deteriorate the sides of the embankments, keeps it flowing one direction, and then makes its way through the tunnel. But through decades of storms and freeze-thaw cycles and high waters, well, it doesn't look quite like it used to, at least not right here. This is all from the power of water. It does make me wonder though, is it worth returning to venture upstream either that direction or that direction? I don't know. I'm gonna think about that one. Those of you watching though, if you are local and know this area, if you could tell me what's up either direction or if it's even worth going up there, leave the feedback down below. But for those of you watching, let me know your thoughts. But now we're going to return back through the Pennywise abandoned subway tunnel and make our way to the other end and share a few thoughts there. It's like another world over here, but a beautiful one at that. So it's been 30 years since I've been here, and I can't believe I forgot about this one. Even though it's nothing spectacular, it's not bad at all. Typically, as I shared in the past, I do like the more older culverts that are made out of stone or brick or other combinations of materials. This one, for the most part, is not that old. It's roughly maybe 70 some years at the most. Primarily concrete, but at least we can stand up in it. It's big enough to fit a small vehicle through there if you had to, even though you can't get one up here. But I do like its location. It's really scenic coming up here, following the stream bed down by the park area. And then the other side is equally as fascinating with the convergence of two streams, two tributaries. So it has a little bit going for it, more than just your traditional culvert. Also, it's nice to see that pool behind you guys. Healthy fish population. There's a lot of them in there. And unfortunately, they don't have a place to go unless there's some high waters and they get rushed downstream. But at least from here, they could collect some food or nutrients coming through the culvert over the little spillway here. But like I said, am I gonna venture further upstream? Time will tell. I do have a lot of things planned for 2026. I know I'm not gonna get through all of them, but if I do have a day and I'm in the area and I have some time to kill, I may venture up probably the left side, but maybe both, who knows? I change my mind sometimes quite often, but I may not even do that if I do find out that there's nothing really worth seeing or it doesn't lead to anything worth checking out. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for coming along and joining me for a What Is It Wednesday adventure that took place originally roughly 30 years ago, before I even had a camera, before I was on YouTube, before YouTube was even a thing. But at least here, we can say we documented today here in 2026. And it was a fun adventure, one that I was able to share with all of you, and hopefully you enjoyed it just as much. Take care, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.